Can I assist you in any way getting from your chair to the couch?
Sure, yeah. You just lift me up and put me on the couch.
Okay, is it cool if I film it?
Yeah, sure.
Just so people can see how to be accommodating and have a conversation about needs.
Have a conversation about needs, I like that.
Because it's not as intimidating as someone may feel.
Yes, I agree.
What is the best way I can help you?
So, to get on the couch would be transferring me.
Yes.
From the chair to the couch. So, typically, what we do is, you get in front of me. Of course, you unbuckle me, right?
Cool.
Of course, you kind of just like wrap your arms around me, like if it's like a hug.
Like giving a hug?
Yeah, like giving a hug, like a bear hug.
Like this?
Yep.
Okay.
And then you just kind of pull me up and put me on the couch.
Always lift with the legs, right?
Yeah, always lift with the legs, exactly.
And just put you on the couch?
Yes, There we go.
Cool.
You're strong.
Thank you.
You're strong.
How were my transferring skills?
That was actually really good. Really, really well done, Chris.
Cool, there we are.
There we go.
All right. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing great. My first question for you.
Yes.
Typically, when you meet somebody for the first time, you shake their hand. What is the best way to greet you?
Ooh, that's interesting. There's different ways. So you can just put your hand here and you kind of just like...
Like right here?
Yeah, like, and then up and down.
Okay.
Like that. Or like a fist bump, right? Like that.
If you don't mind me asking, what is this right here?
Shoulder.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a shoulder. It's very pointy, very hard. So, sometimes a lot of people just do a hug. So you
I like hugs.
Yeah, you like hugs?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, like that.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Happy to be here with you, Edgar.
Likewise. Thank you very much for coming all the way.
And meeting many, many people with disabilities, I've learned that a lot of people who are non-disabled, they aren't used to that. So for them, that might be uncomfortable at first, but it's not uncomfortable for you.
No. It's not uncomfortable for me. I like socializing. I like getting to know people, and I like making people or helping making people feel comfortable.
Edgar, what do you want the world to know about you?
That the only limits that we have are those limits that we place on ourselves. And I've been very blessed to be able to, just go out into the world and live my life, right? Contrary to what many people expected, contrary to what many people thought, there is a lot of good out there, and there is a lot of good we can do in the world.
What is the most important thing for other people to understand about you?
Well, I guess I would just want them to be themselves, okay? What I've learned, not just, as an individual with a disability, but also kind of in the professional world, right? There's a lot of different facades with people. I like it when people are genuine. I like it when people are themselves, right? I'm gonna try my best to always be myself, no matter what.
What is your disability?
Officially, it is tetra-amelia, the absence of the four limbs. As you can see, I have no arms and no legs. This disability is a very, very unique and very rare type of condition. I'm very blessed to be in good physical health. The only thing that's missing is just arms and legs, pretty much.
Were you born like this?
I was born like this, yes. So
we're actually at like pretty eye level.
Yeah.
It's your torso isn't impacted at all.
No. I'm so for like the last 5 years, I probably was like 2'4", right? And then the last time I went to go get myself checked out, I was at 2'6". So I was very happy that I grew 2 inches, okay? But that helps me be at eye level with people. And I actually like being at eye level with people because in the wheelchair, it's very like you kind of looking up, right? But I like being at eye level with people.
I like it too, and when I'm filming, I sometimes think of tricks. Like if I'm interviewing a child, I'll like take a cushion away, and they'll be on the cushion, so we're at eye level, just so it's like we're equals.
Yeah.
So when I was setting up for this interview, I was thinking, how can I make it so we're at eye level? But we are.
Yeah.
So I learned something about your disability.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah. No, my torso hasn't been impacted. I think I've gotten taller, like I said, but yeah, I like it.
What are some accommodations you have that help you in your daily life?
Well, first and foremost, of course, you see the wheelchair, right? I have a manual wheelchair and a motorized wheelchair. The manual wheelchair, someone has to push me around with it, and someone has to take me to different places. In a motorized wheelchair, I drive it with a joystick on the side right here, and I'm able to move myself independently from others. And then, of course, I need someone to feed me, bathe me, and take care of my personal care needs as well. Just what you would consider kind of the most simple tasks, right, that you do with arms and legs, I need assistance with that. I'm able to operate independently by myself virtually, but when it comes to more physical stuff, someone has to be with me.
Tell me about your relationship with your dad.
With my dad. He's a jokester. We play around a lot. He's actually, him and my mom are my primary caretakers. My dad takes the night shift, I guess, in the afternoon, and so he'll be the one that gives me a shower at night. He'll be the one that puts me in bed, and in the middle of the night, if I get cold or warm or whatever, he's the one that will take it. We'll get up and help me out on that.
You mentioned some of the bigger things like driving or getting dressed, but what are some smaller tasks you need assistance with that impact your life?
Water. If I need water, I need someone to grab me a glass of water and put a straw in it. If my mouse falls from the edge of the desk, someone has to pick it up, right? If my phone needs to charge, someone has to connect it. He has to connect it. My laptop's running out of charge, someone has to connect it. Even at points, to open the laptop, right? Someone has to open the laptop for me. If I'm watching TV, someone has to give me the remote. I can operate the remote by myself most of the time, but if I can't reach a button or whatever, they have to do that as well. So again, right, it's just the simplest of tasks, that to me it seems normal. To me it seems really normal to have that, my parents do that for me or whoever's with me. But the most simple task, or even like a pillow, like if I'm laying down in bed, hey, I need you to adjust the pillow or my blanket, hey, I got uncovered, can you cover me back up?
How do you drive your motorized wheelchair?
With my shoulder. So I have a joystick that has been adjusted to my level on my shoulder. And so through there, I kind of just maneuver around with like a mini steering wheel for my shoulder. That's the best way I can describe it.
What is your favorite thing about your son?
He's strong. His capability to do many things. He's able to do whatever is in his mind.
What is your career?
I'm a special education advocate by trade, and I help people across the state of Texas advocate for their children inside the school system. And so I go to the IEP meetings, or what we call here in Texas ARD meetings, and help them understand what the special education process looks like. I help them understand what their children's rights are. I help them understand what your child is eligible to receive, what they're not eligible to receive. And then because of my ability to speak Spanish as well, I'm able to translate for parents who are limited English proficiency as well. I'm able to translate documents and help them translate those meetings and make sure they're understanding what they're doing, what they're agreeing, what their child is receiving as part of their special education programming as well. I do legislative advocacy at the state capitol in Austin, Texas. I've been doing this for the last 4 years, helping advocate for not just special education issues, but disability rights issues as well, and be able to, again, educate legislators on what we need to improve on to better the lives of those individuals with disabilities.
Tell me about your sisters.
Oof, my sisters. I'm very protective of them. I am very protective. In my own way. I can't, in my own way, I'm very protective of them.
What is your way? And what you were going to say, you can't what? You cut yourself off.
Yes, I cut myself off.
Oh, you don't like admitting you can't do something?
No, not even that. No, it's more of you know, if a guy hurts him, I can't necessarily threaten to beat him up necessarily, right? But you know, in my own way, you know, when they need help, you know, or when they're applying to colleges, or they're applying for financial aid, or they're out, you know, or whatever it is, you know, I'm very, very, where are you? Where are you? You know, did you do this right? You know, did you fill this out right? You know, just making sure they're taken care of is the best way I can put it.
Is that true? Does he do that?
Yeah,
Yes,
he is.
he
He's
does.
pretty good at that. Yeah, yeah. We feel confident enough to come up to him and you know, like if it's like he said, like an email or something small like that, we're always like, hey, can you read this and let me know if it makes sense. Half of the time, he ends up rewriting the entire thing, and then that's when we're like, okay, well, what I wrote was just not. I guess it just didn't make any sense to him. So, but it's helpful, you know. He's great at it. So.
Even if it's like 12 o'clock in the morning, he's like, okay, I'll help you.
Yeah,
So
so-
then he's always willing, no matter what time it is.
Tell me about the importance of family in your life.
Well, I guess physically speaking, it is very important, right? But my family, you know, I couldn't do a lot of things that I've been able to do. But you know, my family has always been one of the backbones, right, of pretty much of my life, right? You know, one of the pillars of my life. My mom, my dad, my two sisters. You know, when my grandparents were around, you know, they were also very, very heavily involved, you know, in our lives. One thing that they've never done is underestimate my abilities. They've never said, well, you can't go because you can't do it. Or you can't go because people are gonna stare at you funny, right? Or you know, they haven't said no. I mean, even with my crazy ideas of going up to the Capitol or, you know, running a campaign or whatever it is, I mean, they've never said no.
Have you impacted any laws here in Texas?
Yes, by the grace of God, I have. In 2021, I advocated for House Bill 1252. This bill was meant to extend the statute of limitations in Texas that parents have to file a complaint, so the time limit that parents have to file a complaint. This extended the time limit from 1 year to 2 years. I worked in Austin for 7 weeks at that time, going back and forth between Austin and here and my hometown. And from there, that's how I learned how to advocate for different pieces of legislation. But I was able to take it through the different committee stages. So committee, then on the Senate chamber, the Senate floor, the House chamber, the House floor, right? All of these different steps that it takes to make a bill become law. But my faith, you know, helped me to manage and guide these bills all the way until it became law. And it was named the Edgar Pacheco Jr. Act in 2021, signed by the governor, and now it affects over 600,000 students with disabilities here in the state of Texas.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Tell me about your relationship with your mom.
With my mom, actually, the relationship with my mom and dad are very similar, but I think my mom and I have a similar personality. Similar. I adopt both of their personalities, but I think I'm a mama's boy for sure. I have we talk a lot. You know, we discuss, you know, kind of what we're doing on a daily basis, right? You know, obviously because my dad works, right? You know, he'll come in the afternoon, you know, she'll, you know, be with me during the day, and she will, from mom's cooking to, you know, mom driving me, you know, we've been very close for most of our lives.
Mama's boy.
Do you have nurses?
No. No. I get a yearly nursing visit, right, from the state, kind of just to check up, see how I am, but praise God, I'm very healthy.
Tell me about some of the things you help Edgar with.
Oh, normal. I mean, like getting him up whenever he wants to. Just I go in there in his room and says, it's not time. Okay, then let me know when. So that's how we start the day. And then I go back And sometimes I don't. Not until he's like, Mom. So, now, okay. Then I go in and, simple things like getting him up, getting him ready. Usually we end up at the kitchen. Every morning I set him up there with the phone, and either if he's hungry I cook, or, in general, just things that are normal.
After your parents or siblings are done with the personal care you already mentioned, are you able to go about independently?
So it depends right on my schedule for the day, right? So of course we start off the day, get me ready, brush my teeth, take me to the restroom, and then breakfast, right? From there, I will probably go on my computer and start working, right? Whatever it may be. I may have an IEP meeting. I may have meetings with different people, right? Or just kind of writing some stuff up.
So a lot of your work is virtual?
It's virtual, yes.
That's convenient.
It is convenient, yeah. It is convenient. But let's say I have to go to an event later that night, or let's say I have to go to church, or whatever it may be. Someone has to drive me, right? I have an accessible van that has a ramp through the back. And so that makes it easier to take the motorized wheelchair.
Do you two help with Edgar's caregiving at all?
We do. I think it's more basic things. For me, since I'm the only one that drives, she's yet to get the license. But I usually help with driving if he needs to go somewhere. If he says, I need to go back to my room, I push him to his room. Get him set up with his computer. If he says, I need headphones, I need this. So it's just little basic things like that. We feed him. Help him with that. I think that's kind of like
we do the same thing.
Yeah, that's the basic gist of it. They don't go as far as like the other. I mean, she combs my hair.
Yes,
she knows how to
comb the hair.
She combs my hair. She knows how to comb my hair. She knows too a little bit.
If it's us three by ourselves, she's not that strong, so I carry him.
Yeah, there we go.
We
That's
do carry him. We lift him. Yes.
Yeah.
The chair in the car.
Yeah, the only limit I think is just the restroom, but other than that, they kind of just do the rest of it. Yeah.
What is the science behind tetra-amelia? Why does this diagnosis impact your limbs?
So, typically, it is genetic, from my recollection. Typically, tetra-amelia comes from the genes, some mishap somewhere along the lines, right? However, when my mom was pregnant with me, they did all sorts of genetic testing. They did all sorts of medical testing, right, just to kind of figure out what the cause for the diagnosis was, and they couldn't find anything. Like, they didn't find any issues, in either one of their genetic testing, right? They didn't find any issues, in past family history as well. I mean, no one had been born without an arm. No one had been born without a leg, right? And so doctors really did not know, why it happened. The best guess that we could have, right, is probably there was some environmental factor. There was something, in the air, or in the water, or something of that nature, right? But, an official reason for the diagnosis, we don't have an official reason for the diagnosis.
Do you ever wonder?
Yes, but not in the sense of why it happened. I guess physically speaking, we could wonder every day, right? Why did this happen to me, or why is my life like this, right? I am, and as I've mentioned, as we've been talking, my life is very unique. My life, I have gone through things and seen things that probably many people haven't, for good or for bad. But everything happens for a reason. And while it may be nice to have a quote unquote official reason why it happened, I'm grateful to God because I'm blessed in my life, right? Like I said, has it been hard and difficult at points? Yes, but those difficulties have only helped mold and shape me.
What was it like when he was a baby with no hands or no arms or no legs?
Yes.
How was it?
For me,
Uh-huh.
like a parent,
Uh-huh.
what is it like taking care of a baby with no arms or no legs?
No, it was a shock. I was in shock because we don't know how we can handle this thing. But by the grace of God, we are like teamwork, like that. My wife did her part, sisters did their part, he did her part, friends, whatever. We are involved on the whole things with him. We did not expected this. We were not ready for this. We had to develop things for him as according to his disabilities. It's not because it's a manual to do. You had to do no. You had to create many things.
The only advice that I got there at the NICU when he was there 3 weeks. This nurse said, just one day at a time. Just take one day at a time. So I think it's a good advice. So that's what we did. In almost 23 years.
23 years. Yeah.
Almost 23 years
No, almost 24.
ago. Are you? Oh dear. Okay, sorry.
Are you still taking it a day at a time?
Yes, I have to. We have to. Everybody has to do that because, each day has its own surprises, I think.
What is it like to rely on your parents for caregiving?
It's interesting. For me, it's always been normal, right? So, for the longest time, I knew other kids didn't have the same level of care, right, that I had with my parents. But, growing up, to me, it just kind of seemed normal, right? And as I got older, right, some of the outside perspective, kind of started, shifting my mindset a little bit, right? Not in a bad way, but more of, to people, it's not normal, if that makes sense, right?
How did you realize that?
Well, actually, when I was 17, right, and I wanted to go to college, right, and we were kind of just thinking of the logistics of how that would work, right, going to a 4-year university, staying in dorms and everything, and we kind of, we learned, kind of fairly quick, right, that no one else will provide that level of care that easily, right, and so, from that outsider perspective, and I understand, people's reasoning, right? They don't have time, or, the financial incentive may not be enough, right? That's kind of, that's been per se, some of the harder challenges, for us, right? To kind of to help me transition into a more independent style of living, right? At one point I do want to live on my own, at one point I do want to have a family, and at one point I want to have a wife.
Edgar, you're accomplishing a lot. You have big goals for the future. You want to be independent. Do you think about how you can accomplish that with the level of care you require?
Yes, all the time. That's why, when like I was telling you, when I first found out, the level of care that they provide and the, how they do it, right, compared to, just your average person, right, that's why it was bittersweet, because, at one point, God's given them the strength to do it for as long as they have, right, but, at one point, other people are going to have to come in and step in, right? And I think there's been a healthy balance for the last couple of years, right? Because, while they do primary caregiver stuff, right? And they drive me around and they kind of do pretty much everything, right? The friends that I've had, that they've come in and stepped in at those points in time, right? It's helped them as well, kind of, from my perspective at least, kind of like, let me go a little bit.
Is it challenging for you to think about not providing that care?
Yeah, it is, especially because of what he just said. Mom and dad will always be like, mom and dad, right? The best care a special kid could ever have. But it's also in terms of letting go. at a certain point or in his life, he will have to go and he will have to do his own stuff. And I'm sure God will provide for that people. I am very sure about that, and we'll be at peace, as to say. But empty nesters, at that point, after 24, 25 years, I don't know when, the time will come. But we'll be happy about it too, because that would be an accomplishment.
I mean, I pray for them to live long lives, But God, God has been good to me and placing me with them. And honestly, I couldn't have asked for better parents. I mean, probably every kid says that, right? But like, from my perspective, I couldn't have asked for a better set of parents than both of them.
When you're a child and you have a sibling with a disability, is it normal to you? Do you even think about it at all, or is it just kind of the way it's always been?
Yeah.
It's always been that way.
It's always been that way. Well, at least for me, I've never felt treated differently just because of him with a disability. I mean, we all, I think we could say that we get along really well. I mean, that's never been an issue. I don't think so.
I mean, I treat her the same way as I treat him, so it's in a good way. It's when I look at Edgar, I just see my older brother.
What advice do you have if there's a young child who has a sibling with a disability?
Oh my gosh, I haven't asked that. I guess enjoy them.
Spend time with them.
Make them feel normal.
Make them feel included. I think most importantly is just spend time with them and that's what I can think of really.
Anything you want to add, Edgar?
Help them.
Well, obviously yes, help. Oh yes, help them. Well, that's what you're doing when you're spending time with them too.
I guess.
Yes, help them too. Yes.
When somebody finishes this interview, what do you hope they remember most from it?
If you have an idea, run with it. You want to start a business? Run with it. You want to go meet people? Run with it. Get your supports in place. Get what you need to help you be successful. Whatever it is, just run with it. Don't hold yourself back. That's what I want people to remember.
Is it okay if I give you a hug?
Yes.
It was great to meet you today.
Great to meet you. Thank you for coming.
My pleasure. I'm happy we could meet today.
Thank you.